The Tribe took care of business, winning 2 out of 3 against the first-place Tigers. Now the fourth-place Twins come to town, who have beaten the Indians 6 out of 9 this year. Justin Masterson gets the start after going only 2 rain-shortened innings on Tuesday, and we've got it next on Sports Time Ohio. Another gorgeous night in downtown Cleveland as the Indians welcome in the Minnesota Twins for a 3-game weekend series. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning and joined by former Indians manager Mike Hargrove. Grover, Jim Thome, his Hall of Fame to be career. He's closing in on 600 career home runs, sitting on 598. What are your thoughts? You managed him for the bulk of his career here in Cleveland as he approaches this huge milestone.
You know, Jimmy obviously is a very strong man, but the big thing a lot of people don't pick up on is how patient he is at the plate and how good of an eye he's got at the plate. Gives himself a chance to hit the ball the way he can, and when he hits it and hits it good, it stays gone. And the other thing is Jimmy is as good on the inside as he is on the outside, and for me, a sure Hall of Famer. He's a game changer.
The all-time leader here at Progressive Field, and the Indians' single-season all-time leader at 52 home runs as well. All right, pitching matchup tonight for the Indians. Justin Masterson coming back. He unfortunately only went 2 innings because of the rain delay the other night, and that enables him to come back on short rest tonight.
Well, he's going to be matched up against Carl Pavano in this pitching matchup brought to you by Ram Trucks. Designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks ever built. Ram. Carl Pavano just 6-9 this year. He's having an off year, but he has beaten the Indians, and he had a no decision. That no decision came against Justin Masterson early in the year. Now, after that 2-inning performance by Masterson, he only threw 37 pitches, so they were able to bring him back. He was scheduled to go later, but no, they pushed David Huff back to Sunday, so he's going to get an opportunity here against the Minnesota Twins, and he's looking for his first career win. He is 0-4 in his career against the Twins with 2 no decisions this year. And for Carl Pavano, the former Indian pitching for Minnesota, he's been banged around a lot here lately. He's given up 36 hits in his last 4 starts. We're back with play-by-play action between the Indians and the Twins right here on Sports Time Ohio. All right, we are here at Progressive Field. Another beautiful night in downtown Cleveland as the Indians and Twins open this 3-game series here tonight. A Hall of Fame flavor here this evening before the ball game. Robbie Alomar and Bert Blyleven, 2 former Indians, both throwing out ceremonial first pitches, just both recently inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
A little disappointed in those guys not getting to the rubber and throwing that first pitch because Bob Feller always threw it from the rubber.
Obviously, we're going to have to introduce you to Bert after the game.
Yes, we will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations to those 2 guys, both of them playing in Cleveland, and what a great careers they had.
Justin Masterson on the hill for the Tribe tonight. Let's take a look at Ron Gardenhire's starting 9. It includes Jim Thome, just too shy of 600 homers in his career. Denard Span, the leadoff man. Then it's Alexi Casilla, Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau just off the DL back in the lineup, Jason Kubel. And then at the bottom third, you've got Danny Valencia, Ben Revere, and Tsuyoshi Nishioka.
Well, back on the mound, Justin Masterson making his 25th start. We told you his last start, there was a 2 hour, 3 minute rain delay against the Tigers, so that one didn't count. He ended up coming up, so he only threw 37 pitches. The start before that, though, against Boston, he went 6 innings and got a win. So he's right back here against the Minnesota Twins looking for his first career win. He has made 2 starts against the Twins this year. Both of them have been no decisions.
Ron Gardenhire in his 10th season at the helm in Minnesota. A disappointing year for the Twins. 10 games off the pace in the AL Central. They've lost 8 of their last 10 coming in. And Denard Span looks at a first pitch strike from Justin Masterson. Slaps it to third, caught by Chisenhall, 1 down.
Let's take a look at the Indians defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. Carrera's in left. Fukudomi gets the start, first time in center field. Chu is back. Welcome back, Chu. Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Laporta is at first with Santana behind the dish.
Alexi Casilla also just coming off the DL for Minnesota. They made a couple of moves before the ball game, activating both Casilla and Morneau.
Boy, their DL has stretched all year long, hasn't it? I don't know if a team could put any more players on the DL.
Casilla going out, or being activated, and Trevor Plouffe went back to AAA. And then to make room for Justin Morneau on the DL, Jason Repko went on the disabled list with left shoulder bursitis.
It'd be interesting to find out how many games their lineup they were counting on coming out of spring training has played this year, because they've been injured a lot.
Well, I guarantee it has not been many.
Matt Laporta goes himself to the bag. 2 quick outs here in the first for Justin Masterson. And the injury report tonight, let's take a look.
How many pages does the Twins have?
Well, for the Indians, Michael Brantley still dealing with that wrist issue. And Shin-Soo Choo coming off the DL. He's in the lineup for the Indians batting leadoff tonight, back in his familiar right field. Michael Kadire tweaked his neck during batting practice before the game. And Joe Mauer takes a strike. Mauer's hit in 4 straight, going 5 for his last 15. And that pitch up and in evens the count of 1-1. Jammed him, rolls it toward third. Chisenhall throws it over. And a 1-2-3 first for Justin Masterson. The Indians coming to bat against Carl Pavano when we come back. practice starting 9. It's brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Shin-Soo Choo back in the lineup and hitting leadoff here tonight. Then it's Jason Kipnis and Asdrubal Cabrera, Travis Hafner, Carlos Santana, and Kosuke Fukudome, Matt Laporta, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Ezekiel Carrera.
Carl Pavano on the mound for the Twins, making his 24th start. 6-9 record, 471 earned run average. He has made 2 starts against the Indians this year. He won back on April 24th against the Indians. He went 7 innings and he had a no decision. That was matched up against Justin Masterson in his last on June 8th, and that was a no decision. Let's take a look at the Home Depot doing more on defense for the Twins tonight. In the outfield, left to right, Revere, Span, and Kubel. The infield, third to first, Valencia, Nishioka, Casilla, Morneau, and Maurer. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
And so we're ready to go here as Shin-Soo Choo steps in, batting leadoff for the first time in his career. And he takes a strike from Carl Pavano. Choo has a pretty substantial protective device on that left thumb. Fouls that pitch out of play. When I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, he said I'm going to be back by the middle of August, and that was certainly ahead of schedule that most people figured he would be back by. But he only needed a few rehab appearances at Lake County, and he deemed himself ready for action. I saw him before the game today. He looked at me and he said, I told you I'd be back.
Most players, when they go out on rehab, they always think they're ready before they really are. You know, they really should.
Speaking as a manager,
But when they say they're ready, it's hard to argue with them. You can't say no. You need 20 more at bats or whatever. You have to trust the player, especially an established player, to let you know when he's ready. And
well, they don't like being down in the minor leagues, having to play to
to
get 4 at bats or 5 at bats, and you can see why. You get used to big league level, and you feel you're ready. The pitchers will let you know, though, on the pitches they're going to throw you. Hopefully he is ready, because the Indians can certainly use a shot of adrenaline.
Now the 2-2. And Choo slaps it toward left field, but it stays up for Ben Revere, and that's out number 1. That's going to bring up Jason Kipnis. Two nights ago, Kipnis with a 5-hit performance. And he takes a strike. A one-hop smash past Casilla. And Jason Kipnis with a one-out single here in the first. Our great clip of the game from last night as Asdrubal Cabrera, a 2-out 2-run double, scoring a pair and getting the Indians to within 1 run. Relax, you're at Great Clips. And a bouncing ball right to Casilla. He goes to Nishioka for 1, back to Morneau. Double play ends the first. No score after 1. McDonald's, the Mango Pineapple Real Fruit Smoothie has arrived. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. And by AT&T. Second inning. No score. Justin Morneau to lead off for Minnesota, and Masterson with a first pitch strike. Morneau has had all kind of problems. A left wrist strain. Of course, he had surgery to remove a herniated disc fragment from his neck. Last year, he had all the problems with the concussion that forced him to miss most of the year. Grounds out to start the second. Take a look at our trivia question tonight, brought to you by AT&T. 3 switch hitters have over 2,700 career hits without ever getting 200 in a season. Wow, that's getting pretty deep right there.
Archie's already checking with the truck.
No, I'm giving my answers. I'm already giving my answers. That's what I do instead of writing them down. I don't want you cheating.
Jason Kubel. He's also spent time on the DL this year. Takes a strike over the outside corner. He had a sprained left midfoot problem. And a bouncing ball to second. Jason Kipnis takes care of that. 2 down. Well, both pitchers here at the outset have the ground ball working. And that's going to bring up Jim Thome. 8 days ago, he hit his 598th career homer in Anaheim against the Angels. 27th on the all-time RBI list. And as he takes a strike there. Up high.
It's interesting that the Indians' defensive set, most teams play Jimmy to pull on the ground and play him the other way in the outfield.
Right.
And I see we've got him played straight away and left, and the second base side and center field, and the little pull, slight pull and right. So as you get older, you start cheating a little more. Maybe he's pulling the ball a little bit more.
Well, he's here for one thing. He's trying to swing and hit a big fly, but he can hit it out of any part of the ballpark.
2-2.
But you're right. I would do that. You pull on the ground and you play him the other way in the air.
Jimmy and Charlie Manuel, back when we had Jimmy and Jimmy was here, when Jim would start going a little bad, Charlie would bring Jimmy out and put a tee on home plate, and Jimmy would try to hit everything out to left field, and Jimmy could do that. Now, how strong do you have to be
on a tee?
Off a tee
I know
to hit the ball out of the ballpark to left field?
Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Masterson strikes him out, and the Twins go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. Going to the bottom of the second here at Progressive Field. No score. For the Indians, Travis Hafner, Carlos Santana, and Kosuke Fukudome. Carl Pavano gave up a hit in the first inning. He's given up a lot of hits here lately. He has given up 36 hits in his last 4 starts, 22 runs.
Well, Carl Pavano now is all deception and pinpoint control with the fastball. He's got a good changeup, and he likes to throw that slider inside. So it's all a matter of if he can hit his spots. He used to throw 94, 95 when he first came up back with the Marlins, but he does not anymore. But he knows how to pitch.
A strike to Hafner. He's got some confidence coming in against the Indians. He's pitched well against them this year in 2 starts. Just 4 runs and 14 innings of work. But on the road this year, he has really struggled with a 6.19 ERA, losing 6 out of 9 decisions. And it's 2-1 to Prunk. Hafner, 3 for 10 against Pavano.
You talk about defenses. This is the most straight up you'll ever see with Hafner at the plate. They're straight up in the outfield, straight up in the infield.
Out in front, 2-2.
We see a lot of teams pull another infielder over, and they really
they really play him to pull. You're right.
Yeah, they do.
Right.
This is about as straight up as you'll ever see. Here's a changeup, and you can see Hafner way out in front.
Now the 2-2. Missed outside, full count.
You know, most big hitters like Travis, they're pretty much free swingers. Travis really makes a pitcher work. He sees a lot of pitches, and usually when he hits deep in the count. And he's been productive doing it that way.
Up the middle. Nishioka takes care of Hafner, 1 away. Take a look at our minor league report tonight, brought to you by Kia. John Drennan last night, 2 for 4 with a homer and 5 driven in. He's hit in 5 straight for the AA Akron Arrows.
John Drennan, Bruce's son. I love the Akron.
Here's Carlos Santana. Hit his 18th home run of the year last night. Came off Justin Verlander, and then later in the game almost hit his 19th, but it was just a little short, and Austin Jackson made a terrific leaping catch in center field.
He sure did. Did you see the picture in the paper today, how high he had to go up to catch that ball? That could have been a different ball game there.
0-2 the count on Santana.
He can hit a fastball, can he?
Yes, he can. He sure can. He loves that number 1.
Last 7 games, Santana 10 out of 28 with 3 homers and 11 runs batted in. Pavano's 1-2. And he strikes him out, and that's something Pavano has not done a lot of this year. That's just his 66th strikeout, and that's the 3rd fewest in baseball among pitchers who have at least 125 innings under their belt.
There's a location on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. That was a nice cutter inside or fastball. They right in there. And you notice the count was 1-2. When the hitter gets ahead in the count and you're looking for your fastball, he's going to go a lot of off-speed pitches. But when he gets ahead in the count, he's going to try and get you out with that fastball in there, or at least locate it in there, and see if he can get you to swing.
Now Kosuke Fukudome. A called strike.
You remember a pitcher by the name of Pete Vukovich, pitched for Milwaukee and won the Cy Young. The year that he won the Cy Young, he was the only pitcher in the league that pitched backwards. That's what he did when he was ahead in the count. He went to his fastball. Behind the count, he went with his off-speed stuff and rode that to a Cy Young.
I'll tell you why is because Ted Simmons was his catcher and he believed in pitching backwards. And Vuki was one of the few guys that would, go ahead and try it that way. You had to have guts, and you had to play the string out, though, if you wanted to go deep in a count.
Fukudome with a fly ball off the end of the bat. Kubel coming in to make the catch, and the Indians go 1-2-3. No score after 2. back here, top of the third. Want to remind you to stay tuned later in the game to see our Miller Taste Greatness moment. First drive game. Hopefully the Indians can deliver a victory. Trying to get this series started off on the right foot. They've had trouble with Minnesota this year, losing 6 of 9 against the Twins. Swing and a miss by Danny Valencia.
Well, the Twins in the Central Division this year, they played above 500. They've kept their heads above water, 22-20. Where the Indians are a game under, 18-19, and as we mentioned, Detroit with the best record in the division, they're 10 over, 26-16.
The 1-2 to Valencia, right back through the box, and the Twins have their first hit, first base runner.
Well, Danny Valencia is a good fastball hitter. And I mean, it doesn't matter how hard you throw, but he finds a way. That ball goes out in front of home plate. Just hit it in the right spot. Gets it over Justin's head into center field. Twins' first hit of the ball game.
That will bring up Ben Revere. And it brings Lonnie Chisenhall in on the grass at third, looking for a bunt. Revere takes low, ball 1. Bounces it towards Kipnis. He gets one at second. Cabrera's return throw not in time. Revere flying down the line. Let's check in once again tonight. Here's Katie Witham.
Well, guys, tons going on at the ballpark, but especially this weekend, we've got Kids Fun Day. You can come, especially on Sunday. You kids can stay to move it around the bases afterwards, sponsored by the Cleveland Clinic. We've got Jungle Terry here with his animal show. All of those activities out on the Gateway Plaza. Get your tickets now online at Indians.com for just $8. Matt, Rick, Mike, back up to you guys.
Oh, she remembered we added Mike today. Good job, Katie.
I'm disappointed she didn't call you Ricky.
Here's a pitch cut. Oh, throw goes way offline into center field, and on his way to third now is Ben Revere. So stolen base and then an errant throw.
That might be as far offline as I've ever seen a throw from behind the plate. I mean, sometimes when you see a runner gets a good jump as a catcher, you really try and hump up and get a little more on it. And what happens? It's a footwork. Watch his front shoulder. It's got to fly open. And I mean, that ball was in right center field.
The launch angle was a couple of degrees off.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's going to be a stolen base error as well. Now they bring the infield in.
Nishioka with a base hit, and the Twins take a 1-0 lead.
I was talking to Sandy Alomar before the game, and one of the things that he's trying to get Santana to stop doing, if you'll notice when we strike a hitter out and he goes to throw the ball around the infield,
right,
he drops his right foot behind his left foot to make that throw. And it's funny how you build bad little habits,
right?
And as a catcher, you can't afford to drop that foot back behind your lead foot, and
you get into a habit. Well, that's what you do when you try and throw to second base. I think he's
exactly
saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we saw a little bit of it. It wasn't real exaggerated, but I was watching his feet, and he did drop it back just a tad, and I think that's enough to cause him not to close his front shoulder up and make that throw high into the right.
Denard Span takes its 2-0.
And you're just talking on a regular strikeout.
Just
when
a
you come
strikeout.
back out, he drops. I know what you're saying because I watch him come out left of the box for right-handers up there to get behind him to throw him out.
It's a lot the way outfielders will throw, make their throws in. They'll drop their back foot in back behind their lead foot to get a little momentum, go in that direction. And for a catcher, your footwork is so important because you've got to get rid of the ball quickly and accurately, that if you just one little miscue in there like that, it throws everything off. And we saw the results of that. At least in my mind, that was the big cause of it.
Runner at first with one out. Twins with a 1-0 lead. popped in the air. Left field, Ezekiel Carrera will make the catch. 2 down.
You know, for the longest time, Pudge Rodriguez, you know, everybody talked about the strength of his arm and his accuracy and how he threw runners out. But if you watch Pudge, he did have a strong arm, but his footwork was so good and so quick and got him in such a good position to throw that you know, it all started there. And you know, I don't think that sort of stuff can be overemphasized. I think that stuff has to be ingrained to where it just becomes habit.
Well, and he wasn't a big guy. You know, Rodriguez, he was a shorter guy, and that's why that footwork is very, you know, critical. Santana is that way as well, but he's never been a catcher for that long, so he's got, you know, a lot of work to do.
Still got a lot of work to do, you're right.
The 1-0. Up high, snap throw down to first, but Nishioka back.
Good catchers make it look effortless. When they get the ball and they throw to second base, it's just because they get rid of it quickly, and that's because of the footwork. It's like being a shortstop or anybody else. You're going to get yourself a good hop because of your footwork. And, I mean, Sandy can work with him. And Sandy was a big catcher. You know, that,
yes.
I mean, 6'5". You're sitting back there. It's tougher for those guys to get their feet in position, but he was very good at it. That was better.
That time.
That was better.
He got him. Asdrubal Cabrera might have got spiked on the play, but that ends the inning. Twins get on the board first. They lead it 1-0. Up here, Matt Laporta, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Ezekiel Carrera. Go back and look again as Asdrubal Cabrera. Looked like he got spiked.
Watch the right ankle. That foot comes over. What happened? He got rolled over on. That's what happened. His knee. Yeah, he couldn't stop on the base, and it rolls over on his ankle.
Carl Pavano delivers a first pitch strike to Matt Laporta. Laporta, 10 homers, 40 runs driven in on the year.
One of the things Bruce Fields and Matt have been working real hard on is getting his front foot down earlier, and when he does that, Matt stays back and is aggressive with the bat. When he's a little late with it, he gets a little tentative, and he's still in that stage right now to where most of the time he does it, but there's enough times that he doesn't do it. That it just,
and that makes it look like he's guessing a lot at what pitches are coming.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's it. If you can just gear off one pitch, the fastball, and then take everything else until you get a breaking ball you have to protect, that's the pitch he's vulnerable to right there.
Second strikeout for Pavano, one down here in the third.
See, let's see if that foot's down. He never really even picked it up.
No, it's just a short jab step.
Boom, boom.
And he moves it about 3 or 4 inches. But he just got fooled on the pitch.
Yeah. See, that one, it didn't even move.
Lonnie Chisenhall.
That's a tough place to be in, to where where you're out, you're late on the fastballs and you're out in front of the breaking balls, and every player goes through periods like that, and if you're in that funk as we have been before, you look out there and it looks like there's 45 guys playing in the field.
Driven to deep center, but back goes Span to grab it. 2 away.
Well, check out Progressive Field's all-you-can-eat seats, where you can enjoy unlimited hot dogs, nachos, peanuts, popcorn, and Pepsi products for just $32. You can get your tickets at Indians.com, and remember, buy your tickets in advance for great savings.
Going to bring up Ezekiel Carrera with 2 down here in the third. Well, Carl Pavano has struggled in his last 4 starts, as I mentioned, but he looks like the same Carl Pavano who pitched for the Indians. 29 pitches, 21 strikes. And he's quickly 0-2 to Carrera. Chopped foul.
With Chu being back and going into right field, Manny chooses to put Fukudome in center, who played a lot of center field with the Cubs, and in turn this puts Carrera over to left. But when Brantley's ready, Carrera will end up going back to the bench, and they'll have Brantley in left, I would imagine.
Somebody asked me that last night. When Brantley came back in line, who was out, or and Chu also, and that's what I think. Obviously, the logical choice would be Herrera comes to the bench. Then you can utilize his speed late in the ball game, which helps, and there are a lot of benefits to having him as a bench and a role player.
Well, by rights, this guy, in my opinion, at best is probably a 4th, maybe 5th outfielder on a ball club, especially if you're contending. So, I mean, he was able to fill in, but you had Chu out, you have Sizemore out. He wouldn't have been up here anyway.
Now the 2-strike pitch, down on the dirt.
Well, and that's not to mean that the kid, that Herrera at some point in his career won't be a regular everyday starter on a contending ball club. But at this stage in his career, you're right. He is a 4th or 5th outfielder. He wouldn't be here if everybody stayed healthy. He'd be down in AAA or AA, getting his at bats and getting being developed. And thank goodness we have him available to come in and do what he's done so far.
Little tapper hit towards third. Valencia charging. Won't get the bare hand grab.
Not going to do it. Right there shows you, what he can do. He does have speed.
And he's aboard with 2 down now for Shin-Soo Choo.
I used to get a lot of hits like that.
When you can get infield hits like that, that certainly helps you along, because if you mix in one like this, and that in your first at bat can get you going and make you feel good about yourself.
Well, I remember one time we're playing Oakland, and the third baseman was playing me on the outfield grass. I bunted down the third base line, and it was a banger at the bag. I just beat it. And after the inning, you came up to me and said, "Grover, what were you thinking?" I said, "I don't know."
But that's got to be tough. If you don't get infield hits, you got to hit it cleanly every time. There's a lot of hitters like that.
There really are, yeah.
They're legitimate hitters, boy. When you can hit 280 or above and you don't get infield hits, you hit over 300, boy, you were born to hit then.
Shin-Soo Choo batting in the leadoff spot for the Indians tonight. Manny Acta said he wanted to get him as many at-bats as he could. And once Michael Brantley's ready to come back, which you're hoping it's tomorrow, but with that wrist, they're being cautious. They want to make sure he's feeling 100% and healthy and ready to get back in there. So in the meantime, Choo bats leadoff. When Brantley comes back, Michael goes into the leadoff spot, and Choo will more than likely go into the 6th hole. or at least in an RBI situation. He drives this one deep center. Span back on the track. He leaps and makes a great catch up against the wall to end the third inning. Boy, for the second night in a row, an opposing center fielder takes extra bases away from an Indians hitter. Nothing. Going to the fourth inning, it will be Alexei Casilla, Joe Mauer, and Justin Morneau for Minnesota. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you, and happy to be joined now by Robbie Alomar, one of the newest members of baseball's Hall of Fame. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
It's been a whirlwind for you. How about the last couple of months?
Yeah, it's been great. I think when you play the game of baseball and you reach at this level, it's something that you can express yourself how we feel, because it's the top of the top.
Yeah, that's a different league. You're in the league that you can't go any higher at right now, which is a great thing.
Was the Hall of Fame experience everything you thought it would be?
More. I think when I was standing in the podium and I took a peek to the guys, to the players that were behind me, I cannot realize where I was. I was in the elite of the best that ever played the game. And to me, I cannot express myself. It was a great honor, and I feel humble just to be there.
Well, you were a guy that played the game. You played offense. You were a great defensive player. You ran the bases. You could steal bases. You could do it all. So to be up there with the guys that could do it all, it is fun, huh?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. They gave me a hard time because I was a rookie once again.
Hey, yeah, but they still do it there, right?
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun, and I've been blessed that God gave me the opportunity to share this moment with my brother, with my mom and dad, and my sister, and all the Puerto Rican people and the Canadians and all the Americans to enjoy that moment with me.
I noticed during your speech that you made a point to talk about your brother Sandy and the impact that he's had on your life and your career.
Yeah, Sandy it's my big brother. He's the one that I look up to when I was in the minor leagues. He's the one who took care of me. Even though sometimes he sent me to do the laundry when we were in AA. But Sandy, I have a lot of admiration for Sandy. Sandy went through a lot of tough times in this game, and I wanted to give him a World Series champion when I played with him here. We couldn't do that, but we shared this one, and this is a big one.
Santana throws out Alexei Casilla trying to steal for out number one here in the fourth. I love the story Sandy told about when you guys were together just starting out your career, and you only had one bed and a couch, and he said whoever had the better night slept in the bed, and he said, I slept on the couch a lot that year.
Well, like my mom always told me, always listen to your big brother. So that's what I did. And later on, he wanted to change the rules.
Ground ball to second, Jason Kipnis.
You know, Robbie, you went in as a Blue Jay, but your years here in Cleveland, you had some of your best offensive years here.
My best years.
Yeah, your best years offensively. Why was that?
I believe that I played with great teammates, great fans, and Mike and Charlie Samuel gave me the opportunity to play every day. Charlie Manuel gave me the opportunity to play every day, and I had a lot of fun. And the main thing is that when you go out there to the field, and they gave you open arms, and they know that you can do a good job. You go out there and always try your best every day that I play the game.
Well, all right, you're in the Hall of Fame, and you played next to a guy that's a shortstop that will, I think, eventually be in the Hall of Fame. What do you think with Omar Vizquel?
He will be. He will be in the Hall of Fame.
I think so, too.
I saw him in, I think, a month or 2 months ago in Toronto, and I told him, you better retire, Bo. You better retire.
You got 5 more years
so
after
let's
that.
go.
0-2 pitch to Morneau, and a ground ball to Kipnis. Big hop. He'll throw him out. The Twins go here in the fourth. We'll be back with more with Robbie Alomar, newest member of baseball's Hall of Fame. Twins on top 1-0, middle of the fourth. Field, Jason Kipnis as Drupal Cabrera and Travis Hafner due up for the Tribe. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you, and once again we're joined by Hall of Famer Robbie Alomar. Rick was talking to you about Omar Vizquel and your thoughts on him and feeling he's eventually going to be a Hall of Famer. People have asked me before, when you played together, was there ever a rivalry between the two of you, or did you simply push each other to be better?
No, I think we push each other to be better, and we never compete against each other. We just went out there every day and played the game the way you should play the game. Play hard and have some fun.
You guys were like two acrobats, though. I mean,
yeah,
it was like you did a great play, and then Omar would come back and make an amazing play, and together you guys turned some of the most spectacular double plays I think I've ever seen.
No, I'm telling you, Omar is, to me, is the best shortstop that I've ever played for. And I have played with great ones, and I have a lot of respect for all of them. But to me, Omar, he's a Hall of Fame, and he continued to play baseball. I'm impressed.
Let me ask you this: how's your dad, Sandy, doing? Because I know he's been in baseball for forever. You know, player, coaches, managers. There's a look at the double play combination right there.
Yeah, it was bring back memories. You know. The acrobatic Omar Vizquel.
And the stuff you guys did, it's not like you can teach somebody to make those plays.
No, you don't teach them. It just happens. You're blessed with it.
But my dad's doing great. My dad's home. taking a little break. I think now that I'm working with the Toronto Blue Jays, we are doing a few baseball clinics for the young kids, and he's helping me out. I think my dad's is a great mentor, and he's helping me to teach all the kids.
Well, he always was a coach. I mean, I saw his face at the induction ceremony, and I know there was a proud papa right there with your mom as well.
Oh, man, they were real proud. And, like I said before, to share that moment with them is a bless. Because talking to Bert Blyleven, I know his father passed away years ago, and now his mom was there. And he was telling me how honored he was for me, for my family, to share that moment.
Well, didn't someone give you a little tip? Don't look at your parents when you're sitting up there doing your speech.
Yeah, when I was doing my speech, I didn't look at my mom's face, because if not, I would be crying all day long.
Asdrubal Cabrera with a line drive single to right field with one out here in the fourth inning. When you went out and threw your ceremonial first pitch, I saw Jim Thome in the Twins dugout. He was waving to you and talking to you. That's another former teammate that I would imagine is a slam dunk Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, slam dunk. And, I had a chance to play with Jim Thome. Whoever doesn't know Jim Thome is a class act. He's a professional. And it was an honor to play with him, to have him for the 3 years that I play here. He's a guy that you can talk to, that you can relate to, and I wish him all the best. And hopefully he can hit a 600 home run here. But in the losing team.
No, that's exactly right. I feel the same way. I want to see him do it here because we watched him for so many years.
Hafner bounces it to first. Morneau gets one, and the relay is in time. Robbie, thanks so much for
Thank
stopping
you, guys.
by. Congratulations
and
once
good
again.
Luck. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Robbie.
Hall of Famer Robbie Alomar with us. It's 1-0 Minnesota after 4. By the Cleveland Indians and by Panini's. Go to paninisgrill.com for their new food and drink menu and a location near you. Well, another beautiful summer evening. And we move along now to inning number 5, 1-0 Minnesota. Jason Kubel, Jim Thome, and Danny Valencia due up for the Twins here.
And we have our Hall of Famer back, Mike Hargrove.
I can't believe I got run out of here.
We tried to get an extra headset in here. They didn't have 4.
That's probably a good thing.
Now the 1-1 pitch coming to Kubel. I'm wondering, Mike, I know the ultimate goal is you want to win the championship. That's what you set out to do every year. But as a manager, listening to Robbie there talk about Omar Vizquel being the best shortstop he ever played with, and remember, he played with Cal Ripken and had some good ones in Toronto as well. When you think back, having the opportunity to manage both a Robbie Alomar and an Omar Vizquel, you ever think, wow, that's pretty special?
I can honestly tell you, excuse me, that going to the ballpark every day I expected to come away from that game that night seeing something out of either both those guys or one of those guys that I'd never seen done on a baseball field before. And I can tell you that, honestly, I wasn't disappointed very often. These guys were fun to watch. And, you know, in batting practice, they'd take their ground balls and get their work in, and they'd work on their double plays and their feeds and their timing and all that. But about the last 10 minutes of ground balls, they'd start putting on a show, you know, behind the back and with their glove. And just, it was absolutely amazing how athletic both of them were and how well they worked together.
Well, when Omar retires, they can go to Vegas and be Cirque du Soleil. I mean, they could go out there and they got their own show.
They wouldn't even have to put the makeup on.
That's
Good,
right.
Yeah. The one thing I heard out of Robbie today, and I was really glad to hear it, that how well him and Omar got along, how much they respected each other, because I've heard the story. I never heard it while they were playing together and never saw any evidence of them not getting along and not liking each other. But
Deep to center, Fukudome backpedaling, and he pulls it down for out number one. Well, Mike, I asked him that because of the same thing. I said, was there a rivalry between you, or did you simply push each other to be better? And he said there was never a rivalry. You never competed against each other. But there's no question, when you have two great players, they definitely pushed each other to be better.
Well, they didn't want to be embarrassed, and it wasn't necessarily being one up on the other guy. It's just the fact that they didn't want to make a bad play and look bad as compared to the other guy, and that's healthy.
Yes, it is. That's what I was going to say.
Jason Kipnis from the outfield grass throws out Jim Thome for out number two.
But I was so glad to hear him say today that they got along well, and they still get along well, and hopefully put to bed those rumors that they didn't like each other, they were jealous of each other, and like I said, watching them day in and day out and being around them, every day for 8 months, I never saw any evidence of that, but sometimes when you manage, you get too close to the forest to see the trees.
Danny Valencia takes a strike.
I think competition from within an organization, from a team, it breeds winners.
It's healthy.
It's very healthy.
Sometimes it's not comfortable. Sometimes it's, you get out of your comfort zone. It's not comfortable, but it's very healthy. It honestly will make you, in the end, it'll make you a better person, a better player. And I think we saw that from those two guys. They were amazing.
2 down, bases empty. Masterson with a 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Well, we were talking about the day in between the innings. He'd look up and he'd say, yeah, there's a lot of people here. I said, yeah, not like the days when you played. I mean, back then, that was like, we may never see that again, where it's sold out night after night after night. That was just a special time, and I think Cleveland Indians history.
I think, and in the city of Cleveland, I mean, the ballpark came along right. The whole complex,
right.
The Gateway complex, came along at the right time. There's
storm.
a renovation of downtown. We got hot and stayed hot for 6-7 years.
That's the most important thing that people sometimes tend to forget, because there have been a lot of depressed areas that have had new ballparks built in them. But the team here did not disappoint when this ballpark opened.
No, they peaked. Matter of fact, in '94, when it did open and they went out on strike, they were, a game behind the White Sox and closing in quickly.
Yeah, August 12th, I think, is when the strike started, and we were a game and a half back. And for those prior 10 days to 2 weeks, we had made up 3 or 4 games.
I know it.
On the White Sox, and the White Sox were running scared, and they should have been.
2 down, bases empty. Masterson's 2-2 pitch. Fastball away. Full count. If Valencia keeps the inning alive, Ben Revere would be next. Masterson's payoff pitch is popped back over the screen.
Well, it's come a long way from the days of hitting in the top of a warehouse over at Cleveland State. Do you remember that?
Do I ever? On the 5th floor?
Yeah.
And you had the cobwebs and everything. They had a batting cage up there.
460-watt light bulbs to light it up for you.
No kidding. Well,
and
even over at the old ballpark, I mean, the old Municipal Stadium, they didn't have cages. They had, I think they had a cage out in the old center field, but that was taken over by rats. They wanted to stay there, and they did their own thing. We wouldn't go out there. We'd afraid we'd get eaten.
Well, yeah, and the dirt out there was old dry dust. And you'd take 3 swings, and all of a sudden you'd be up to your ankles. And it was like quicksand.
Yeah, the amenities, everything now here is just Spectacular it has been. This is almost 20 years old, this ballpark.
Isn't that amazing?
It really is.
Absolutely amazing. It's still a beautiful ballpark. I was really fortunate in the years that I got to manage. I got to manage here, Camden Yards, and Safeco Field. 3 of the best ballparks in the game. By far, Progressive is still Jacob is called in Jacobs Field, but Progressive is by far the most amenable, it's just a great ballpark. From down below, the facilities are down below, the weight room, the batting cages, the dressing rooms, it's the training room.
Well, and that's the thing, Mike, you talk about. There have been so many new ballparks built since then, and yet this one has stood the test of time. It has stood up to every ballpark that's been built since. And certainly you can argue, is AT&T Park maybe better, but that's like splitting hairs. Fouled back. I know a lot of people in San Francisco, and rightfully so, love their ballpark out there, but again, if those people think it's better, okay, you tip your cap to them, but I mean, that's splitting hairs.
That's good for them. I've been in both places. It's not better. I tell you, it's not better. I haven't been into one yet that's better. Now, I haven't been in the new Yankee Stadium and places like that, but this is the best ballpark that I was able to, or fortunate enough to be able to compete in. And
this is like your house here. You came here every day. And walked in. Not only did you walk into that third base dugout, but you also had to walk into the first base dugout. So you've lived everywhere here.
It snowed on me here.
Yes, I remember that. So does Paul Bird.
Oh, so does everybody. I told my wife after that game, I said, you know what? I went from one of the most liked people in Cleveland to the most hated person in Cleveland in 15 minutes.
Yeah, but it was maybe not even 15 minutes. 1 out away, from a.
Well, if Paul Burt was mad at me, that he was the one that kept throwing ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. Just so strikes. We weren't swinging the bat very well.
He tried. It was about 40 degrees.
It wasn't even that warm. God, it was cold.
Well, this will be the 70th pitch of the night coming up right here for Justin Masterson, and the 14th to Danny Valencia in this at bat.
I'll tell you what, this kid has had a good at bat. He's a tough out.
Swung on and missed. He finally got him. Second strikeout for Masterson. Twins go 1-2-3. One 0 Twins, bottom of the 5th inning for the Tribe. Carlos Santana, Kosuke Fukudome, and Matt Laporta. Carl Pavano has given up just 3 singles on the night. He's made 45 pitches, and 34 of those have been strikes. Carlos Santana struck out his first time up. Santana had that errant throw early in the game in the 3rd inning, and that allowed the Twins to get their first run, but He's come back and thrown out 2 would-be base stealers since.
Change up. Remember, he struck him out on the 1-2 fastball his last time up.
Well, the one thing that Santana hasn't learned to do yet is to make adjustments in his at bats. He's got the same swing no matter what the count is. And Pavano put that fastball in a good spot like he's going to try to right now. And fastball in, and if you don't, when you get 2 strikes, if you don't shorten your swing up, if you don't, then you know the holes that you do have become really, really big, and he'll learn to do it because he's a good hitter. But
2-2 just outside.
Right now he's having trouble, adjusting during the at bat.
Well, he gets geared, and I mean we can see it. He's a young hitter still at the major league level. When you get into hitters' counts and you think you're going to get a fastball, he never does. He gets a curveball or changeups.
The 2-2. Punch toward right coming hard is Kubel. He won't get there. And Carlos Santana bloops one into right for a leadoff single, and the Indians had their leadoff man aboard for the first time tonight. Our recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Nishioka's RBI single, the only run of this game. Carl Pavano 1 over the minimum through 4. And Justin Masterson has also pitched very well for the Indians. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Kosuke Fukudome flied to right his first time up. And shoots it out of play the other way.
Send along some birthday wishes tonight before it gets out of hand. Rich Lewis from Niagara Falls, New York, now resides outside of Dallas. His birthday today. Rich, happy birthday. Jennifer Bookbinder of Marilla, New York, is 60 years old. Happy birthday. It's been a busy night up here so far.
The 0-1 to Fukudome is outside. Jeff Reams celebrating his 43rd birthday in Ashland tonight. Kevin Sidbeck, his 48th in Ashtabula. Joe Sava celebrated his 98th birthday last night in Niles, but he's tuned in every night. So, Joe, hope you had a great birthday last night. One pitch. Off the end of the bat towards third. Valencia's only play at first. Tying run into scoring position with 1 out here in the 5th. Let's go back to the studios right now for an in-game update. Al Pawlowski has the latest on Detroit and Baltimore.
Hey, Matt, Mike, Rick, let's take a look at what's happening there. J.J. Hardy, the former Twin, going deep for the O's here in the bottom of the first inning. It's a 2-run homer. Gave Baltimore the lead at the time, 2-1. Tigers scored 1 in the second. It's now 2-all heading to the bottom of the third inning in Baltimore. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Al. Here's Matt Laporta. Struck out his first time up. Fastball and a strike. And the off-speed pitch had him swinging and missing. It's 0-2.
Pavano has had 8 0-2 1-2 counts, and what he does, he just expands that zone when he can get ahead of you, and he's got that kind of command.
Bounce to third. Valencia with a nice pick, and he throws out Laporta 2 down. Hey, after the Indians game tomorrow night, stay tuned to STO for a replay of the Browns-Packers preseason game. A new look offense and defense in their first preseason game of the year against Green Bay, the defending world champs. It's tomorrow night at midnight following the Indians and Twins right here on STO.
Well, it's already starting up, I guess.
I was going to tape that show. I won't do that now.
Starting already.
Well, there for the longest time, didn't look like it was going to start at all.
I know.
You know, Lonnie Chisenhall flied to center his first time up, looking for that 2-out RBI hit. Down on the dirt. Josh and Rachel Pedraja celebrating their 4th anniversary in Bristol, Wisconsin. Tuning in to watch the Indians and the Twins tonight. Chisenhall fouls it back.
Cammy Wright of Jeffersonville, Ohio is turning 38. John Bucher of Stowe, 30. Derek White of Grove City, Ohio is 30. Happy birthday to you three.
Also want to send along get well wishes to Pete Meyer, who's home in Brecksville recovering from a broken hip. Hope you're feeling better, Pete.
That's no fun.
I know he'd feel a whole lot better if Lonnie Chisenhall delivered right here. He takes a strike. Now he's down on the count 1-2.
Pavano's been able to hit inside to some of these left-handers with the fastball, a little comebacker. See if it's got a little comeback to it on the plate. And that's probably at the top end of the strike zone right there.
Now the 1-2. Up high with it. 60 pitches for Pavano so far tonight. And he has limited the Indians to just 4 singles so far. Joe Mauer running out to the mound to have a word with Pavano.
Yeah, Pavano called him out there. Remember, you still have first base open here, so they're not going to give Chisenhall a fastball to hit, and they'll go at him with something probably off speed if he wants to swing. Not that they necessarily want to walk him, but it is open if need be. Let's finish up our birthdays. Mark Matherson of Sydney, Australia. He's watching us, 26 years old. Nolan Toth of Warren is 6. Cliff and Diane Lanham of Streetsboro celebrating her 33rd anniversary.
He's watching tape delay.
Well, no, he already knows the score because that's tomorrow.
That's right.
The 2-2.
We got to call him to see what it is.
Routine fly ball to right. Jason Kubel grabs it, and the leadoff single does no damage. 5 complete, 1-0 Minnesota. The Subway Extreme Fan Zone. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and you'll get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. One nothing Minnesota, 6th inning. Justin Masterson starts this inning with 70 pitches under his belt so far. Ben Revere, Tsuyoshi Nishioka, and Denard Span for the Twins. Revere reached on a fielder's choice in the third and then stole second, and on the throw by Santana that went wildly into right center field, he went to third and then came home on the RBI single by Nishioka for the game's only run. Tap toward second. Kipnis throws him out, one away. All right, time to end the suspense to the AT&T trivia question, although it sounded like Rick might have all three of them.
All right, 3 switch hitters. One's got to be Robbie. The other's got to be Omar, because he's looking for 3,000, and Eddie Murray. Because Eddie never had 200 hits because he would walk so much.
I'll have to give you that one tonight.
You will?
The last time I was here, you came up.
See, you thought I was cheating when I hit that talk back.
Arch, I know you. You were cheap.
Nishioka fouls it back.
Now, look, the people down there at the studio, they don't want to help me out one iota.
You got pictures of him or something.
Well, I do that, but still, they don't give me the answer.
And a strike to Nishioka. It's 1-2. Little half swing back to the mound, and Masterson throws him out 2 away. Did you happen to see last night the swing that Ian Kinsler had against Michael Pineda?
Did not.
Ooh,
bad.
Yeah, and that's not a guy that looks bad at the plate very often. But Mike, was the ball almost in the catcher's mitt by the time he swung the bat?
Well, it was a breaking ball, wasn't it?
It was a weird looking swing.
It was a breaking ball, and he raised up and came down and raised left, right, and then just kind of.
Like
just
kind
of, yeah.
Wrist, like a little wrist half swing.
It's like my son Andy swung when he was about a year and a half old.
I did not see that. And, Michael Pineda, one of the best rookies out there throwing the baseball. Good fastball, good slider. I'll get a chance to see it.
I'll tell you what, you throw the ball 98 mile an hour, there's not a whole lot of people who are going to sit around and decide, is this a fastball coming up my noggin or is it a curveball?
I mean, we can sit up and laugh. I mean, it does look funny. I mean, Nishioka just took a funky swing. But when you get in that little white box, there's good movement. And have to hit that pill. It's a little different when you're swinging that piece of lumber.
Not sure where Paul Nauer thought that previous pitch was, but it's now 1-2.
He's an umpire.
I've already heard that people are saying we look like umpires tonight the way we're dressed, the three of us. Curly, Larry, and Mo.
That's right. That's right. We can umpire the intramural game down at Cleveland State. Softball.
Masterson's 2-2. Bounce foul. Jerry White still has good footwork.
Here we are. You're out of here.
At least once.
That's right. Kenny Kaiser.
Well, yeah, in the end of his career, he didn't raise his leg anymore.
He couldn't.
No.
Just kind of twist his wrist a little.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Now the 2-2. A little bit inside, full count. Masterson has had the ground ball working. And the 3-2 swung on and missed. He gets his third strikeout to end the top half of the sixth. It remains 1-0 Minnesota. 1, 2, 3. The Twins went in the top half of the sixth. We go to the bottom of the sixth. And Ezekiel Carrera, Shin-Soo Choo, and Jason Kipnis do up for the Indians.
I make an impact on people.
One guy called him Matt today.
No kidding.
And then Bob from Winter Haven, who we've known forever, comes in and asks you where Rick is.
Oh, goodness.
Ezekiel Carrera.
And instead of you telling him, I'm Rick, you said, oh, he's gone, he got fired.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Bob.
It's a full moon tomorrow night. I guarantee it is. I know that for sure.
Of course you do. Ezekiel Carrera swinging bunt single his first time up.
You know, he's been doing that a lot the last couple of games. Trying to run up in that batter's box a la Miguel Delaney.
I don't like that. That's people do that invariably out of the box when they do it, and the umpires probably are not going to call it, but that's a much better play.
Valencia, bare hand grab, and not in time.
That one's good. Now, we had an opportunity. Carrera, we watch him bunt. He tries it almost once a game, but a lot of times he's moving. This time he put the ball down in fair territory before he took off, and it was a beautiful bunt. Yeah. When you watch it, boom, he never left the box. Put it down and let it go.
He, Kenny Lofton used to do that a lot. Kenny Lofton to square around and put the ball down and then take off running. And I always wonder, because most guys, they'll step up and throw the ball and then they'll lay the bat off. And when you can run like Kenny and Herrera, you can do that.
Anytime you're moving, your bat's going to be in foul territory. It's tough to bunt the ball in fair territory.
Yes,
if you got a bunt, you've got to, a drag bunt, take it with you. You've got to go with your left foot and step directly to the pitcher so you stay in. You stay in line and you stay in the batter's box.
It's almost like a crossover step. You're exactly right. A lot of people left-handers will lead with their right foot
and go to first base.
It takes them away from the ball. You're right.
You got to lead with your left foot.
Shin-Soo Choo crushed the ball his last time up, that it was caught in deep center field by Denard Span. He made a nice leaping catch.
Yes, he did. I like that swing that Choo put on the baseball, though, going to left field, left center. He smoked it.
And there's a one-hop smash. It eats up the shortstop Nishioka, and then Casilla can't grab it. Carrera stops at second base.
That's got to be a base hit. That's got to be a base hit.
That ball had some hair on it, as you like to say.
Yes, it did. Nishioka's going to have seam marks on his wrist. Watch this. That's hurting right there. That ball. Watch this. Look at it come down. The top spin on it. That went off his wrist, his forearm. And that ball deflected. He had no clue where it went. Ouch.
Might have hit his leg, too.
That thing got there so quick, it might have hit a whole lot of things before it got over.
That was a pinball.
Well, now the Indians have an opportunity here with 2 on, nobody out. Jason Kipnis, 1 for 2 on the night at the plate. He squares, and he bunts it. Foul, third base side.
Well, yeah, you want to move those runners along. Why not?
6th inning, good play.
One-run ball game. I have no problem with it whatsoever. Pavano, he's had a lot of ground balls today. He does have a double play. Has 2 of them, as a matter of fact.
It's kind of the gray area, for the Twins as far as Kipnis could very well swing right now. You have different bunt plays you can call, and they're kind of in a gray area. They're not sure whether he's going to swing or bunt and pretty much put on just a standard bunt play because of it.
Down low. Wasn't showing bunt that time.
No, Manny took it off. Wanted to go one time with the bunt, and sometimes you put that bunt on, a pitcher will throw you a fastball thinking you're going to bunt, and you let the guy swing away, and he gets a good pitch to hit.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if he's bunting here again.
May get a changeup too, which would be an easy pitch to bunt.
He's swinging, and another one-hop smash. Nishioka will go to third to get the force, and the lead runner is retired for out number 1.
Probably a smart play by Nishioka just to go to third because he wasn't going to get a double play after he booted the ball. It's a double play ball, and you could go to second and to first to get Kipnis, but once he boots it, get the lead runner.
Well, the ball kind of dictated the direction of the ball. Karam kind of dictated where he had to go with that ball. Had the ball caromed off to his left, I would bet he would have gone to second base. He wouldn't have gotten the double play, but he'd gone to second base.
Once again, Maurer going to go out and talk to Pavano.
Well, bring the dogs out to Progressive Field for Puppy Palooza. You get a ticket for you and your dog for the Indians-Mariners game. That'll be Tuesday, August 23rd for $30. Arrive early, walk your dog around the warning track in a pregame parade. Visit Indians.com/puppypalooza for your details.
As Dribble Cabrera singled his last time up. Then he bounces one to Morneau. He goes to second. They get one there, and that's all they get. Nishioka looked like he had a little trouble getting it out of his glove. And let's see if the Indians can take advantage of that now. First and third with 2 down, and Travis Hafner coming to the plate.
Well, again, another ball hit very hard, right on the nose. Good relay. He gets the one, but watch the transfer. He just didn't feel like he had it well enough to go ahead and make a throw.
I think combined him trying to get the ball out of his glove and the fact that Pavano was a little late getting to the bag, he made the wise choice and kept the ball in his hand. And
tough for a shortstop to lead a pitcher to the bag, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awfully tough to do that.
Pitchers are such good athletes that it's hard to.
Just ask them.
That's right.
Travis Hafner 0 for 2 on the night. Pavano 70 pitches so far this evening. 52 have been for strikes. Shin-Soo Choo, the tying run at third, as Dribble Cabrera, the go-ahead run at first. And Hafner way out in front of a changeup, 0-1.
Pavano, a guy you can run on, too, so you don't want to keep Cabrera at first base. I wouldn't want to. Get him in scoring position if you can. I think you could steal on him easy. They used to run on him when he was here.
8 steals allowed in his last 3 starts, 20 on the year, and that's 20 steals ties him for 7th most in baseball, 5th in the American League.
Yeah, I remember 20 out of 22. I mean, now they're not going to throw through, I wouldn't think, in this situation.
Fastball strike right over the outside corner, and now Pavano ahead in the count, 1-2.
This is a fastball away where he just dots the outside corner. I mean, right there, perfect pitch.
One-two. Hit off the end of the bat by the mound. Nishioka will have to hurry. He kicks it again, and the Indians tie the game. So Tsuyoshi Nishioka having a nightmare of an inning at shortstop.
He sure is. He hasn't been able to catch anything. And remember, you've got Travis Hafner running here, so he doesn't have to get rid of it quickly. He comes in, just field it first, throw it second. He didn't field it.
You saw the frustration by Pavano, too.
Well, yeah. Once it gets over his glove, you still feel that you got it, and he knew he didn't. So you see him slap his glove. He knew he still had a chance at him, but that'll go as an error. Nishioka. He has had a tough inning. But the Indians come out, they score. They tie it up 1-1.
Pitching coach Rick Anderson out to the mound to talk with Pavano. Carlos Santana will be at the plate.
A play like that, really, you're right, Rick, in the shortstop not knowing, the runner. He had a lot of time. He could have broke down and caught that ball and made the play and charged it the way he would if Herrera was running or you. He should have played it like Hafner was running or I was running.
Right. You have to make the play. There's 2 outs, and once it got past Pavano, I know the game that it looked like that play has speeded up a little bit on Nishioka. But he had a tough inning. He dropped another ball, a bullet. Chu hit off his wrist. He had a play to go to third base. So he's had a really tough inning right here. So that could all be part of it.
Carlos Santana chops it to first. Morneau says, I'll take it myself. And the inning is over. And the Indians have tied the game at 1 as we head to the 7th.
At 1, and make sure you're here tomorrow night. Every fan will get to take home one of these, a Mike Hargrove bobblehead. And if that's not good enough for you, make sure you stop by the Cleveland Indians Charities right behind home plate in section 153. You can get a raffle ticket for your chance to sit with Mike Hargrove and his wife Sharon in their suite for an entire game. Tickets only $20. They're going to pick 5 winners, and that includes all of your food and beverages for the game. Great deal. I've got mine. Get yours. You can get more information at Indians.com. Matt, Rick, Mike, back up to you guys.
Katie, go get me a ticket, will you, please? I'll pay you when you get up here.
Okay, I'm on my way.
I'll pay you more if you don't.
I want to get. He'll give you double. I want to sit with a game with Mike Hargrove.
Yeah, that's right. With your knucklehead doll. No bobblehead in it.
Alexei Casilla leading off the 7th for Minnesota. And he's going to try his hand at bunting.
It's a nice one.
Chisenhall, throw off balance. Got him.
Nice. I saw him. He changed his footwork to go to his glove hand and pick it up, and I said, uh-oh, that may take a little more time, but he's got a good arm.
Yeah, he got rid of that ball real quickly.
That's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Watch his footwork, how it changes. Instead of going with the bare hand, he shifts, kicks it into a different gear, but, boy, he did get rid of it. Good throwing arm just in the nick of time. How close is that?
That is blink of an eye fast.
Close enough he's probably safe.
You think so?
No.
Would you have been out of the dugout arguing?
Probably.
Okay.
Joe Mauer takes a strike.
Depending on what kind of mood you're in. Look at, he's upset. He thought he was safe.
I'm surprised Ron Gardenhire didn't go out. He's all the way at the other end of the dugout. It's almost as though he was contemplating it. You see him there?
Yeah.
But maybe decided not to.
Tell me if I'm wrong, Mike, but a lot of times that manager will check his reaction from his first base coach. And if he sees that, he flinches or says something, he'll go out there then knowing that he's a lot closer than he is in the dugout.
You're exactly right. And I always told my base coaches and the players, look, if you think you're safe, you legitimately think you're safe, it's a close play, then put up a little bit of an argument. Because then I can react off that, because I don't want to go out there if you're out by 2 foot.
Yeah.
Then your argument becomes just a pain.
Yeah, I'm going out to protect you.
But you watch your base coaches, and if they have a reaction like, oh, then you go out and argue, and then you've got a legitimate argument. And
the umpire will question whether he missed it or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
2-2 the count. And it's driven to left. Carrera makes the catch, 2 down. Let's go back to the studios once again. Here's Al Pulaski.
All right, fellas, let's head to New York, where CC Sabathia having a little trouble with Tampa's hitters. 4 home runs tonight. Kochman, Shopik, Damon, and Elliott Johnson. But they're all solo shots. So Tampa leads it 4-1. 6th inning now in New York. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. CC Sabathia trying to equal Justin Verlander with his 17th win of the year. But obviously on the short end of that game right now. Looked like that ball hit the umpire.
Well, I think Santana got crossed up and didn't get a whole lot of leather on that ball. And the umpire will ask him politely, would you go out and talk to your pitcher?
Please don't do that again.
Yeah.
Sky high pop, shallow center, drifting into left center. Carrera calling for it. The left fielder has it. It's a 9-pitch 7th inning for Justin Masterson. And we are tied at 1. Time now for the Cleveland Clinic. And by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. It's time to join the Hyundai movement. Going to the bottom of the 7th, tied at 1. Log on to paninisgrill.com for their new food and drink menu and a location near you. Alexei Casilla has left the game. He might have hurt himself trying to bust it down the line and beat out that bunt for a hit. Matt Tolbert takes over now for the Twins at second base. Kosuke Fukudome 0 for 2 on the night. Looks at a ball up high. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Fukudome flied to right in the 2nd, grounded to 3rd in the 5th. And a ground ball to second. It gets under the glove of Tolbert, just into the game. And the Indians had their leadoff man aboard for the second inning, actually the third inning in a row now.
There's an old truism in baseball.
Yeah.
The ball will find you.
It will find you is right. And I'll tell you what, the very first hitter, a little backhand side. And Casilla out of the ball game, and there it is. Right under the glove of Tolbert, who just came into the game. Second error of the night for the Twinkies.
Is it, or did they change it? They had the error up on the board, now it's gone.
Oh, well, then they give him a base hit then, huh? Yes, sir. Changed.
Okay. Matt Laporta 0 for 2. Alexei Casilla trying to bunt for a hit. And then he was kind of hunched over there for a while, walked off slowly. But
something in his foot, maybe.
Well, you know, he just came off the DL. And if I remember right, it was a foot problem for Casilla.
Well, something popped back in there.
I beg your pardon, it was a strained right hamstring for Casilla. It was Kubel who had the foot problem. Laporta cuts and misses. Got the fastball that time. Turned it loose, but came up empty. Back out of play. And the count 0-2 on Laporta. Carl Pavano has thrown 80 pitches and 60 have been strikes tonight. A little bit outside. And Laporta strikes out for the second time tonight. Third K for Pavano. One down here in the seventh. The Indians got their run in the sixth because they kept hitting it at Nishioka at short, and he had a tough time. It's almost like that first one, that first smash got in his head.
Well, so you know what? It is. I mean, it gets contagious. You don't want the ball hit to you after a while. And in that one inning, when you're playing that position, boy, he had all the business, didn't he? That's how the Indians were on the board, an error, and it's been on each side. It's worked out that way.
Chisenhall slaps it foul down the left side.
The Indians' error, the throwing error, led to a Twins run. Well, both these starters have pitched well enough to be 0-0, really.
Well, they both have very low pitch counts.
Yeah.
You know, this deep into the ball game, and you're right. They've both thrown the ball well enough for it to be a 0-0 game.
Now the 0-1 to Chisenhall. Go to first, drives Fukudome back. Trying to go that way again. It's 0-2. So for Carl Pavano, he allowed a run in the 6th, and that tied the game. 7 hits for the Indians. He has struck out 3. But for the most part, he's had Indians hitters off balance all night.
Well, he has, and a lot of times it's been with that changeup or something off speed. Pavano, a guy you can run on. So there you go. I thought he was going to save the hole for him early in the count. Then I thought he might start Fukudome there, but Chisenhall finds the hole. I thought he was going to try and hit that hole in the first couple of times up, but he fouled it off to the left side. And then in the situation where I figured he'd get a changeup, he might start the runner, but he doesn't, and he finds that hole. That was a changeup. Just gets under the glove of the new second baseman, Tolbert.
And Ezekiel Carrera will be the batter now with 2 on and 1 out, and Carrera is 2 for 2 with a swinging bunt single in the 3rd and a true bunt hit in the 6th.
Well, that hit Chisenhall got was an 0-2 count.
Carrera pops the first pitch up foul and in the seats. Ezekiel Carrera is 8 for 18 with runners in scoring position. That's good for a .444 average. Looking for another big hit from the number 9 hitter. Right back up the middle. It's knocked down by Tolbert, but he can't get a handle on it. Everybody's safe and they're loaded. So in the 6th inning, it was the nightmare for Nishioka. Here in the 7th, Matt Tolbert being tested to his left, to his right, and he is 0 for 3.
Well, the kid made a great stop. I mean, he dives to make the play going to his right. He just couldn't get it out of his glove, and it falls there, and he tried to slap it to second base to get the force, just to get an out. He just couldn't get the transfer. A nice stop. Now watch him try and get it out, and it slides out of the glove. Tried to slap it, do whatever he could to get the out, and he couldn't do it.
And now they're loaded up for Shin-Soo Choo in his first game back. He is 1 for 3 with a single, and he has scored the only run tonight for the Indians. Pavano turns, Choo turning away from the Pavano pitch. It's a called strike. And it's chopped foul over top of the Indians' dugout. Back in the 3rd inning, Choo clobbered one to deep center. But Span made a great catch. He's down on the count 0-2 with the bases full and 1 out. And that's grounded past Sandy Alomar. Activity now in the Minnesota bullpen as Pavano has just hit 90 pitches on the night. Here's the 0-2, and he strikes out Choo, 2 down.
Yeah, that might be one of the better changeups he's thrown all night long, location-wise and speed-wise. That's down to 80, out of the zone. He pumped a couple fastballs in earlier in the count that Choo pulls foul over the dugout, and now he wasn't going to give in. He went slower. Gets Choo to swing over the top of it. Now a chance to get out of this inning.
Well, that was a nice changeup. Not only because of the speed, but the ball really went down. Almost looked like a palm ball, which a palm ball acts like a screwball, and it went down and away from the hitter.
Jason Kipnis with a bouncer wide of first. Morneau has no play at second. He goes to first, and they get the out to end the inning.
Pavano, great play.
So the Indians leave them loaded, and we remain tied at 1.
Transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
We go to the 8th inning, tied at 1 for the Twins. Jason Kubel, Jim Thome, and Danny Valencia. Justin Masterson starts this inning. This is his 94th pitch of the night, and it's low for ball 1. 13 of 23 first pitch strikes for Masterson. He has retired 11 in a row. Wraps that around the outside corner. Shoots it foul out of play. 1-2. And he's out looking. Kubel barking at home plate umpire Paul Nauert, but that looked like a pretty good pitch.
Well, he went inside. He certainly wasn't looking there. I mean, he brought the arms up like that ball was way inside, but you're right. He rings him up. Let's see. Take a look at it. Oof, perfect pitch. That's a tough pitch to get called from a lot of umpires, that inside fastball. So he's sitting right there. Gets the call. 4th strikeout for Justin.
Jim Thome looks at a ball inside. Thome tonight has struck out, grounded out. Wide of the mark, 2-1. Fouled right back. Just now getting some action in the Indians bullpen. Left-hander Rafael Perez is the first man up, as Masterson has just now gone over the 100 pitch mark in the game. The 2-2 to Thome. High, full count. And Tomey 8th on baseball's all-time home run list. And it's ball 4. He's also done a lot of that in his career.
I'll tell you right here, they didn't panic. Morneau looking to throw to shortstop for the force out, which he should have been there. He wasn't there, but Pavano didn't give up on the play. He made a spectacular play to get out of that inning and keep his foot on the base. That was a good play by the veterans.
That was a really heads-up play because the play was at second base. I mean, the ball took the first baseman that way. He made the play that he was supposed to make. The shortstop
should have been there.
Yeah, had a brain cramp, and Pavano saw that and was aware of it and kept going and made the play. It was a good play.
Delman Young running for Tomey at first now with 1 out here in the 8th. And Danny Valencia 1 for 2 with a single in the 3rd. That walk for Tomey, the 1,709th of his career. So not only is he 8th on baseball's all-time home run list, he's now 8th in the all-time walks list.
There's a lot of people who don't even get that many at bats.
Well, Grover, you were a guy that walked. Think about the number of walks that he has in his career. I mean, you would take 100 in a year, and you would make pitchers throw strikes. That's not an easy thing to do, is it?
The only difference between Jim and I is I hit 10 home runs and he hit 30.
Well, we don't have to go there. You walk.
Don't have to go there. That's exactly where you were going.
No, I wasn't.
The 1-1 to Valencia. Broke his bat. Last time he was up, he had a 14-pitch at bat. He eventually struck out to end the 5th inning. And that walk by Tomey snapped a string of 12 in a row, retired by Masterson.
I think a big difference between Jim and I and the eyes we had. I was just afraid to swing. Jimmy just has a good eye.
Well, I mean, anyway, you both take close pitches. I mean, so you will get called out on strikes sometimes, but you have to take that to earn the respect to get those close pitches that are on the edges too.
You're exactly right. Exactly right.
I mean, if you don't, most hitters will swing at them, and that's what I used to do. I used to swing. I wasn't going to walk. I didn't want to strike out either.
A little bit high, 2-2.
Well, the deeper in the count you can get as a hitter, the better hitter you're going to be over a consistent period of time. There are obviously times that you swing at a pitch early in the count and get base hits, and that you run that string out. But on an everyday, day-to-day basis over the course of the year, the hitters that hit deeper in the count are usually better hitters, and they get better pitches to hit. The pitcher's going to make at least 2 mistakes every at bat, at least 2. You've got to be patient enough to allow him to make those mistakes.
Yeah, most hitters are not that patient.
Runner goes, 3-2 pitch. It's smoked past Cabrera. He was covering the bag, so he vacates. And that's right where Valencia hits it. And the Twins have runners at first and third with 1 out.
Well, now the Twins come right back. They had Cabrera covering, and he hits the vacated spot. Man run, you get a fastball right down the middle. Justin wasn't going to walk this guy. And there goes Cabrera, and there goes the baseball right where he was standing.
Most of the time infielders are taught, it's shortstops and second baseman, when the ball's hit like that and the runner's running, instead of breaking to the bag, break in 2 or 3 steps. I got this from Toby Hara. Break in 2 or 3 steps straight in and then go to the bag. What you've done, you cut down the distance that you have between you and the bag, but you're staying in position. And had Struble done that time, he would have stayed there and been able to make that play.
No, that's a good point.
Well, the Indians had a chance to take advantage in the 7th inning, but they left them loaded. Now the Twins have a similar opportunity here in the 8th with first and third and 1 out, and Ben Revere.
Don't rule out a squeeze play. With this guy at the plate, you have the pinch runner Young at third base. Certainly a situation that could happen with 1 out.
Tough guy to double up.
Yes, he is. You see where that infield's coming, though. It's coming halfway. Where if it's hit sharply at one of them, they will come home.
The set by Masterson. And it's high ball one.
That's a tough way. Each manager has his choice of how he wants to play things, and has good reasons for doing it. For me, playing your infield halfway like that, it really puts you almost in a no man's land, where it almost makes you indecisive of what you're going to do when you get the ball. Do I go for the double play? Do I go home with the ball?
Yeah, you have to wait and see how hard it's hit
Exactly.
and what you're going to do.
Yeah, sometimes it puts, especially young players, it puts them in a position mentally to where they're a little bit unsure.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. This guy can run, get down the line. So to me, they're coming home.
The 1-0.
Because he can get down the line. He beat out a double play ball earlier in the game.
I agree. I agree. I think the play has to be, unless it's just a ball that's hit close to the bag that you catch on a hard hit ball that you can get to and make the transfer quick. Your play has got to be at home.
1-1 pitch. Chopped towards second. Kipnis is coming home with the throw.
There you go.
Young is going to try to get in a rundown. But
nice.
He's tagged out, and the runners
nicely done.
Advance.
Exactly the way it's drawn up right there. Kipnis got a good throw to Santana. He ran him directly back to the bag. One throw, tags him out. Perfectly done.
Couldn't be run any better.
Yeah, you go ahead and you take the replay over.
Well, Kipnis made the decision right. I mean, when that ball was hit, he was charging the ball coming home the entire way. Santana, you're taught to run the guy and make him commit and then give the ball up, and he did that. You run it in spring training. You want a one-throw rundown, and it was run perfectly from the ground ball to the throw home to the rundown at third base. They absolutely executed that perfectly.
Well done.
Now Tsuyoshi Nishioka at the plate with 2 on and 2 out. Masterson misses down and in. Masterson went 118 pitches in his start against Boston. And he's at 114 with 2 out here in the 8th. His season high was 120 in a game against Detroit back on May 1st.
Well, this kid's an animal. I mean, he's not even sweating out there.
A strike called. It's 2-1.
He has been something special this year with that fastball. He's been able to locate it. He really only throws about 10 breaking balls a game. He just comes at you. He's had very good command of his fastball in and out to both sides of the plate.
Ripped to right. That's a base hit. Fukudome. Here's a throw to the plate. And he is safe at the dish. Manny Valencia scores the go-ahead run for Minnesota on a 2-out RBI single by Tsuyoshi Nishioka. He had that nightmare of a defensive inning in the 7th, but here in the 8th, he comes through for the Twins with the go-ahead RBI hit.
Well, he goes inside with the fastball, and he's able to run on a lot of those Japanese hitters. Wolf, so they start running. And he gets it out, a one-hopper to Chu. Here comes the throw. First game back, it's still right on the money, but they beat it out, and they take the lead, 2-1.
So Justin Masterson departs. But the Indians are now on the short end, 2-1. Call to the bullpen. I want to talk to you about the Gathering Place, which supports, educates, and empowers individuals and families who have been touched by cancer. And for every Indians homer, Rick and I are each donating $5 to the Gathering Place, while Great Clips donates $50. For more information, visit touchedbycancer.org. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. And for the Indians, they go to the bullpen. Rafael Perez coming on now. 52nd appearance for the Indians left-hander.
You know, and he's going to face the left-hander Denard Span, top of the lineup. Masterson, what a nice job he did tonight. But that 2-out base hit, Nishioka has both RBIs.
That's a picture of a not very happy person.
Yeah.
First and third for the Twins with 2 down. Denard Span 0 for 3 on the night. There's the 0-1. Slapped down the left side, but out of play foul. Left-hander Glenn Perkins now warming in the Minnesota bullpen. The 0-2. Ooh. Chuck's last call follows the Conrad's postgame show here on Sports Time Ohio. With 2 down, the 1-2 pitch. Weekly tap towards short. Cabrera's throw to first is in time to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Minnesota now leads it 2-1. Hafner and Carlos Santana due up for the Tribe. Carl Pavano, 92 pitches on the night, back out here for the 8th inning with activity in the Twins bullpen. and a strike to the outside corner. 24 of 30 first pitch strikes for Pavano tonight. Right back out of play. 1-2 the count. One run on 9 hits for the Indians. 2 runs, 5 hits for Minnesota. Cabrera sends a fly ball to center. And Denard Span has that for out number 1. Tonight's box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. Travis Hafner coming up now, hitless on the night. Indians have had some chances. I mean, in the 6th inning, they had a couple on. They did manage 1 run, but certainly could have had more. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 7th. And did not score there. No balls, 2 strikes after Hafner out in front of the changeup.
He's been out in front of that pitch all night long. He has not made an adjustment on that pitch yet. I mean, sooner or later, he's a good hitter. Now he's got to make it, get jammed with the fastball or hit the changeup to left field. He's seen so many of them.
One ball, 2 strikes. This will be the 100th pitch of the night for Pavano. Hafner, then Carlos Santana here in the 8th for the Indians, down a run.
Well, you can tell he's trying to make an adjustment on that changeup. He took that, I think it was a slider right there that was in. He waited back and really got jammed, fouled it back.
I mean, eventually that's what you have to do. You're going to see the majority of those off-speed pitches. Here it comes again. Now fastball in.
And Hafner turns on it, but it's
now,
foul.
There it is. A fastball in, he still pulls it foul. And and that's his best bolt, and it was in off the plate. So what's that tell you as a hitter?
Uncle.
I mean, come on.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, it really is. Every hitter, you go up there and you don't want to be embarrassed by a pitch. And the changeup's obviously the one that Pavano's got going tonight that's making our hitter look bad. But there's always that nagging little doubt in the back of your mind. I don't want to lose that fastball if he throws it here. So it's a tough mental battle that you.
Fouls it
back. A little better on that changeup.
Yeah, it was, but it was upstairs. That changeup was upstairs. He said, "You're right. I mean, it was. He was looking to try and throw it that way, but the only reason why he was able to touch it was because it was belled high."
Exactly. Which begs the question: stuff or location?
Location.
I think so too.
Now the 1-2 to Pronk. A little bit outside, and that'll even it up.
It really is a mind game. The cat and mouse between the pitcher and the hitter right there. And then now he's going to go and try to hit that with that perfect pitch away. With the fastball. It wasn't a changeup that time. Had the extra giddy up, and that's where you hope you get a quick little swing from the hitter. Fastball. Changeup.
That was down, but Hafner was able to get a piece of it.
He's going to throw him a changeup here in a second, and if he misses, he's going to come back and double up with it.
Yeah, well, and then that's what happens. That's a good changeup, but as a hitter, if you can just get a piece, that one was out of the zone. So Travis expanded his zone just to get a piece of it. He's got to continue to do that with that changeup until hopefully Pavano makes a mistake with a pitch that he can handle.
Now the 2-2. And he rips it into left field, a base hit.
There you go. Take the heater the other way. Nicely done.
So the tying run is at first. Here in the bottom of the 8th with one out, we'll get a pinch runner now. It's Michael Brantley who will come on and run for Hafner.
See, there you go. He finally got a pitch after falling off a great changeup. He got the fastball, but he didn't try and do too much with it. There it goes. Shoots it the other way, and he gets rewarded with a single.
It's the art of hitting. Is you fight off the pitches you can't handle, and
yes,
hit the pitches hit the ones that you can, and you've got to make adjustments. He did make the adjustment
yes,
that time.
He did. He sure
tried
did.
To stay in the middle of the field and stay back.
Good for him. That's it. But now his night is over as Brantley's running for him. Gardenhire goes to the bullpen.
They've got a timeout here in Cleveland. Twins lead at 2-1. Indians with a man on and one out here in the 8th inning. Time now to take a look at our Miller Taste Greatness moment. On this date in 2004, Ben Broussard pinch hitting with the bases loaded. And a pinch hit grand slam.
He had a couple of them that year, didn't he? Yeah. One against the White Sox, I remember. And who was that one against?
Toronto. Here is Glenn Perkins now to face Carlos Santana. He'll turn around and bat right-handed. He went 1 for 3 against Pavano, who's out after 105 pitches. Gave up 10 hits. Told you he'd given up 9 in each of his last 4 starts. But tonight he only gave up 1 run, and it was unearned. Called a strike. That looked high.
Sure did.
Santana turns away.
It sure did.
Oh, clearly. Brantley the tying run at first. 1 and 1 to count.
Thought he'd try it again.
Why not? Called it the first time. Give him a chance to do it again.
Missed inside with that 2-1. Glenn Perkins, long look in to Maurer. And Santana dives one to deep center. Span won't get it. Short hops the wall. Brantley flying around third. He's going to be waved home, and there will be no throw. Carlos Santana with an RBI double to center, and we are tied at 2.
Well, Santana has been smoking the ball right-handed. You remember he had that 2-game set, one in Boston, one in Texas, where he came out and had 8 ribbies in games. And, I mean, he smokes this ball, drives it to right center. He caught himself a fastball out over the plate and drove it into right center. Short hops the wall, allows Brantley to come around and score. So that second run will be charged to Pavano. Now Perkins is on his own out there. Brantley coming in, carrying the mail. It's a tie ball game.
Now Kosuke Fukudome, base hit his last time up. Big chopper towards second. And Tolbert throws him out, 2 down. Go ahead run at third base. And Matt Laporta will be the batter. So Brantley comes on, little pinch run duty. Matt Laporta, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out tonight. Broken bat, bleeder, left. Revere coming in, dives, can't get it! Indians take the lead. Laporta digging for 2, and he is safe!
But sometimes it's not how you hit them, it's where they land.
Well, that landed in a great spot for Matt Laporta and the Indians.
You bet. They both needed it big time.
Yeah, they really did. Absolutely right. The shortstop curls off. That ball got in on him. Looked like a cutter around the trademark. But by the time Rivera can come in, it looks like it hits leather. Just can't hold on to it. Falls out of his glove. Laporta hustles to get into second base. Santana comes in to score. The Indians take a 3-2 lead.
Lonnie Chisenhall going to be pulled back for a pinch hitter here. Will be Shelley Duncan. And Duncan has been dynamite as a pinch hitter all season long, as Ron Gardenhire will try to pull what's left of his hair. Duncan 4 for 7, 7 ribbies on the year as a pinch hitter, and they've said, yeah, no, we're not even going to bother.
Yeah, first base is open. You go, you still have the left-hander on deck. They were going to make a change anyway for Chisenhall for defensively at third.
And so 2 on, 2 out. And Ezekiel Carrera will be coming up. Carl Pavano and Justin Masterson both pitched well tonight, and neither will figure in the decision. Mike, you've been where Ron Gardenhire is, where you think you've managed it right, you've done all the moves you can make, you've got yourself in position, and all of a sudden a little broken bat blooper falls in, and now you're on the wrong side of the score.
Some things you can't control. I mean, Ron Gardenhire made all the right moves. He went to his bullpen when he needed to. He brought the pitcher in he needed to, and it just didn't work for him. But there's sometimes that you've done everything that you can, and then the ball needs to bounce the right direction, and it hasn't tonight for the Twins, thankfully.
At least not here.
I'll be a homer. No, you guys aren't, but I can be a homer real easily.
You want to see the ball bounce, but I mean, you're right. This is the baseball god. Sometimes the ball doesn't go your way, or a hit, or a call.
Well, and again, we've talked about this. How many times do you see it happen? Nishioka had the miserable inning defensively, but he's got 2 RBIs tonight. So it's a crazy game, and it's not over yet. 3-2 Tribe. They've got 2 on with 2 out. Carrera down on the count, 0-2.
It's a game you'll hate for 5 minutes and love for 2 hours.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. We'll go to the 9th. Indians lead it 3-2. Inning here at Progressive Field. The Indians with a 3-2 lead. And Chris Perez, come on now, looking for the save, as he will try to notch number 24 on the year. Rafael Perez worked 1/3 of a scoreless inning to get out of the 8th. Jack Hanahan now on defensively at 3rd for the Tribe. For Minnesota, it will be Matt Tolbert, Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau. And a fastball strike evens the count. Tolbert 1 for 3, as you see there, against Perez with a strikeout. Two and 1 the count. Three balls and a strike. And remember, Tolbert hitting just .213. But after him, you got the big boppers: Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Jason Kubel. Full count. This crowd of better than 31,000 in full throat. 3-2 line deep left. And making the catch is Carrera for out number 1. Stay tuned after the ball game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. We'll look back at all the highlights. The Indians hang on and win. We'll talk to one of the stars of the game, and we'll get you set up for Game 2 in this 3-game series, which comes your way tomorrow night here on STO. Joe Mauer 0 for 3 tonight. And a first pitch strike from Perez. The 0-1. Bounce to short. Cabrera flips it over. 2 down. Mauer 0 for 4 on the night. And now everybody up on their feet with 2 down. All right, here we go. Game on the line. Justin Morneau just off the DL. Chris Perez trying to nail it down for the Indians. And Grover, these two have never faced each other before.
Well, Perez should have the advantage there. And Morneau's a good hitter with lots of pop.
Pops it straight up. Hanahan makes the catch. And the Indians win it with a 1-2-3 ninth from Chris Perez, his 24th save of the year. What a win for the Indians to come from behind and get the victory. With that win, the Indians are now 59-57 on the year. The loss drops Minnesota to 52-66. Winning pitcher Rafael Perez, he's now 5-2. Saved to Chris Perez, his 24th. The loser tonight is Glenn Perkins for Minnesota. And for Perkins, he's now 4-3 on the year. Time now for our play of the game. It's brought to you by KeyBank. Thanks for making KeyBank the #1 bank in Northeast Ohio.
Well, placement is always beautiful, and they bust the bat of Matt Laporta, but he gets enough of it, and Rivera couldn't hold on in left field. And Santana, after a big double that he hit, able to come around and score. Laporta goes into second base safely. That's the go-ahead run right there. So that base hit is our KeyBank key play of the game off Matt Laporta.
So the Indians win at 3-2 the final. And we're back with the Conrad's post-game show. Chris Perez will join us in a moment.